The legions Astartes are an armed force of super soldiers created from demigods to unite and protect humanity. They were supposed to be the guiding light of hope for the Emperor's Imperium. But what happens when they falter and break? What happens when their loyalty is turned against the ones they were meant to protect? Death, war, and heresy. What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. In this one, I will be going over some of the flaws of the Space Marines, well, one major flaw of the Space Marines, and what it's caused for the Imperium and the galaxy overall. So, without further ado, let's dive into this lore. So, Space Marines are almost the best warrior that the Imperium can do. Obviously, you have Primarchs, Custodes, Assassins, but, well, Space Marines, they're still probably the best of the best, generally speaking. So with that being said, I think the major flaw of the Space Marines is their autonomy. They have too much freedom to do what they want, but thankfully that is kind of mitigated by them being bound by the Codex Astartes, as well as their faith and belief in the Emperor. Be it the Emperor being a god, or the Emperor just being, their creator, so to speak. This does have a few flaws in that we saw very recently with that of the Black Templars, a little excerpt where the Black Templars were supposed to be getting Primaris reinforcements, and the chaplain in charge saw that as heresy, and he ordered his Black Templars to fire on the Primaris as well as the Custody that was delivering the Primaris to them. This can be seen heresy in both ways. The devotion, the love for the god Emperor clouded their mindset and allowed basically friendly fire. All of the Primaris died, as well as the Custody, and this crusading force of Black Templars just continued on their way. They saw the tinkering, the machinations of Belisarius' call to the essential God-given, template of the Space Marine heresy. Because how can you improve upon something that your god, or the Emperor for this matter, has deemed perfection? So with that being said, we lost a Custody as well as a huge force of Primaris Marines. That gives them so much, leeway to basically just continue using this as a means to do whatever they want. Say this chaplain says, you know what? We're going to go and attack Terra because the Emperor is being besieged by his own bodyguards or something like that. They can easily use this as a means to basically get away with doing whatever they want, because who can go against the will of God? They are the hammer of the righteous, they are the spear of the Emperor, and if anybody says otherwise, then they're just going to purge and destroy them. So that is one of the huge major flaws of the Space Marines, that they can pretty much get away with anything based on their beliefs. We've seen exactly how devastating this was during the Horus Heresy. The Primarchs themselves, they also had too much freedoms to basically do whatever they want. I mean, yes, they did have to participate in the Great Crusade and listen to the Emperor, but for the most part, they all had their own personalities, their own wants and whatnot, because the Emperor and Erda could have taken that away from them. If they really were meant to be tools of war, why give them free will, thoughts, personalities, wants? If they're just going to be a tool, just make them a blank slate to enact their end goals. I mean, obviously that would be pretty much encroaching on what the Necrons are, just mindless robots sent to purge the galaxy, besides the Lords, of course, but obviously that would not be something very entertaining, because obviously you can create entire stories and novels with each Primarch and their own beliefs and personalities, because obviously that's better than just being mindless. So of course we've seen what happened with the heresy, with Horus basically plunging the entire Imperium into civil war, ravaging worlds, even the half of the AdMech allying with them, and we could still see the effects of the heresy even in 40k now, with all the traitor legions, the Chaos Gods being a thorn in the side of humanity. And then we come to another instance of how autonomy was just devastating to the Imperium in more recent times, and that isn't with chaos, just going rogue. Space Marines have gone rogue and decided to do things for themselves, kind of what the Chaplain did with the Black Templars there, but this one was probably the most notable instance in all the lore, and that is the Badab War. As of a few days ago, I have already covered the Badab War in pretty much its entirety, so go ahead and check that out. I will post a link to the video so you guys have it there, and we also have a more in-depth analysis of the Badab War that's pretty dated, since we kind of did that one like 4 years ago. But you could check out either or if you want more information, or just like a more quick condensed version of it. But basically what happened in the Badab War, a Space Marine chapter master took it for himself to protect a planet that he was getting his recruits from. Eventually he's like, this is my planet now, why should I stop there? And he took a sector of space, and then he's like, well, I'm gonna be the leader of this area, so I don't need to send tides to the Imperium. If anybody comes in, I'll just blow them apart. This will be his sector of space. And it just escalated from there, as you can imagine. The one thing I do want to say about that is, what's the difference between that and the section of Ultramar? That is also a sector of space that is protected by the Ultramarines, but of course the Imperium is okay with it. Is it because they send out their tides and whatnot? Probably, but it just goes to show you that a lot of things in this universe, you can do it just a teeny bit different, and the ramifications of that are astronomical, to the point where you have a galactic civil war. So that's all I got for today, guys. Obviously, the autonomy of a Space Marine is something that we can keep on talking about. Instances of this, both being good and bad, are rampant throughout the lore of Warhammer 40K, but I want to know your opinion. Do you think Space Marines need to be essentially policed a little bit more, or let them do what they've been doing because it's been working out? Working out in parentheses or quotations. But with that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, comment. That helps the channel a lot. Another way you guys can help out the channel is that YouTube is now doing super thanks, so you guys can donate directly to this video, and that will greatly help us out. If you don't want to donate that way, we do have a Patreon page. A simple $1 a month goes a long way towards making us be able to put out these videos. And if not, like I said before, you can always like, comment, and share. That's free to do, and it helps out the channel. So thank you for that, guys, and as always, I have been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.